Welcome to MATLAB programming. Today we are going to see association rules and frequent item set mining. So the prerequisite for creating association rules is creating a frequent item set mining. So Apriori algorithm. So we are going to see a demo of Apriori algorithm, and first we will see the theory part of it. And so what is an association rule, and what is the basic concept of an item set, support, confidence. So these are all we'll discuss and then move on to the programming part. Right. So I think we have already discussed about a priori algorithm. So the purchasing of one product when another product is purchased represents an association rule. So what is an association rule? So it is the final result of an a priori algorithm. So which gives a confidence that if a person buys item A, he will definitely purchase item B. So that is the confidence, and this is a rule identified by the a priori algorithm, right? So frequent item set mining is what? To identify items which are bought frequently from a transaction, from the list of transactions. So you will be having a database full of transactions. Say for example, we will be having some 10 items and 10 transactions. So within the 10 items we will be given 10 transactions. So frequent item set mining is to find what are all the items purchased frequently. So in that 10 transactions, out of the 10 products, 10 items. So an item is a product or a thing or an object purchased in a transaction. So item set is what? A group of items. And frequent item set is what? Those items occurring frequently in all the given transactions to be analyzed. Right. So in that we'll have some performance measures like confidence, support, and lift. So we'll be concentrating on confidence and support. Right. So and I think here's a definition for this. So mainly the application used is the market basket analysis, where an a priori algorithm is applied to find the frequent item set and frame the association rules so that the items can be lined up in the shelf for the display, so that the purchase on the purchase item and the business of the supermarket is improved. So to see, so the association rule helps an organization or a supermarket to improve its sales by finding the frequent item sets and creating an association rule, and based on that rule the items are displayed in the shelf, right? Sorry. So and what is support? So support is the probability that a transaction contains the item, right? So support is the probability that a transaction contains that particular item. So confidence is a conditional probability that a transaction having X also contains Y. So this is the confidence. So this is a measure called confidence, in which it is a conditional probability that a transaction having X also contains Y. Right. So this is the basic definitions, and this is the formula used to calculate the support. So now the number of transactions in which that particular item appears to the total number of transactions. So and then the similar way support. So and this is the example transaction where we discussed in the theory class, and so on the bird's eye view we can see that transaction out of this onion, potato, burger, milk, and beer, I think that all of these 5 items are purchased only in the transaction 6. See, the last transaction they have purchased every item, and the least purchase item is what? It appears in minimum number of transactions. So in which it appears in minimum number of transactions. See, so the least purchased items were so this burger, onion. So that is not more. That is not in all the transactions, right? So when a person buys onion, so when a person buys an onion, he will definitely buy potato and burger, right? So this is the implication. So there are many implications you can make, and to make it easier, since this is a small transaction and we'll obviously see the frequent item set, and if we and to find the frequent item set in a very large manner, we are using the programming part. So we have used programming to improve and get the frequent item sets, and using that frequent item set we are going to calculate the association rules using a priori algorithm, right? So a priori algorithm, so I think we have discussed the advantages and disadvantages. So the advantages is it is the results are very specific, and the disadvantages is it is not scalable. So a priori algorithm is not scalable. So and a priori gen, so we have discussed when we coming to the association rule, there are only two steps. So one is finding the frequent sets. First you have to find the frequent sets, and then association rules have to be generated from the frequent set. So this is what an example for an item set, frequent item set. So the FEM we have discussed. So it's an algorithm. So when to use? So the condition, we have a condition where to apply the association rules. So only where the futures take only two values. That is, say for example, a person who visits web page X are likely to visit web page Y. So we should have only two values. Sorry. So this is the measure where support confidence lift. Then there are others to affinity, leverage, and so we will be concentrating on support and confidence. So this is the a priori algorithm. So these are the steps. So first you have to so as we have just, you have to go for C1 and the next level. C1 is the first level with one item set. Next C2 is the second level with two item set. So likewise it continues. So it continues until the end condition is satisfied. So this is the normal steps. I think we have discussed the limitations. The algorithm is very slow. So because it goes to many iterations. So this is the advantages, and so I think joining and pruning is what. So discarding items in the next level. So when you go for a 2 item set and 3 item sets, we will be discarding some items, because that transaction will not be sufficient to make into the algorithm. Right. So these are applications, and we have the one more revised one. Yeah, I think it is the same, but it's precise. So this algorithm is precised, right? So it is an efficient algorithm that scans the database only once. Priori algorithm is an efficient algorithm that scans the database only once. So it only once, but the iterations, what we call the iterations, is going to one item set, and then we will be following the 2 item set, then combinations of 3 item sets. So that takes time for the algorithm to complete. So if it is if the database is small, algorithm is okay, but when the database is large, a priori fails in the scalability, right? So we'll see it in the MATLAB programming, right? First we'll see the item set, frequent item set. So this is the frequent item set program. This is frequent item set main program. So here we have the matrix, or we call the transactions. So we have 6 transactions here. Sorry, we have 5 transactions and 6 items. So this is the first transaction, and this is the second transaction, this is the third, and likewise this is the last transaction, out of which this vertical column is the item 1. So this is item 2, this is item 3, item 4, item 5, and item 6. So there are 6 items and 5 transactions. So using this we are going to find the frequent item set, right? So I think we are not named, so like this I think we will be having This is the table. So we have here we have the table. See it, so this is an organized table. So we have the items onion, potato, burger, milk, and beer. So we have 6 transactions. The same way we have represented this type of thing in a matrix called A. So here we have 5 transactions and 6 items. So the and we have created the threshold. So threshold is what the number of it's a m comma n is the size of the A. So we are first calculating the matrix size, and with that we are calculating the threshold. So the number of items. So this item, the number of transactions and the number of items. Right? Sorry. And this is the, and using that we will be finding the threshold with the number of items. So we have called 3 functions here, and which is get freq 1, get freq 2, and the number of, so the this 1 2 is okay, we are calculating it normally, and above 2 we have the another, we have written the code in the another section, right? So we'll see what is get frequent. So this is the frequency one. So this is finding the frequent item set, where finding the frequency the 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 value of A is greater than or equal to T. See, T what we call is threshold, right? So capital A is the matrix. So A is a matrix where we have the number of transactions and values, and this one is called the threshold. So right, so this one is called the threshold. So this is the formula to find the get frequent item set of 1, and this is the get frequent item set of 2. So this is the, so we are using a loop. So we are using a loop to find. So if it is greater than 2, we'll be going for this k, right? So we'll be moving to this k. So for this we have to find the find the values from C3, right? So this is the code for finding the frequent item set mining, right? So that is the main program, frequent item set main. So now we'll run the program, right? So we have executed, and we'll see what happens. So this is the value. So this is the workspace where we have the value. So this is the input value. So this is the input matrix A, and this is the frequent item sets. So we have 6 items. So C1. So this is C1. So C1, and this is C2. See. So this is the first iteration where we have 2 items. So this is the next one in which we have the 3 items. Right. So this is finding free. So likewise, C1, C2, C3 continues until it satisfies the terminating point. So these are the values. So this is the threshold value calculated. So this is threshold value is 2 by n. So 2 by n. So it is 0.33. Right. So this is the way we have to find the frequent item set. Right. So we have, so in for this program we have 3 subfunctions and a main program. So this is the main program. So this is the main program, and this get freq 1 is a function, get freq 2 is a function, and get freq k is a function. So you have to write this one first, this second, and this one third, and finally frequent item set main. This is the program where we call those 3 functions in this main program. So and this is the input. So this input can be changed, and we can see the frequent item sets, the values, frequent item set values. It can be changed. So the number of rows can be increased, the number of columns in the sense the number of items can be increased, number of rows, the number of transactions can be increased. So this is the program, right? So next we are going to see the a priori rules. So we have, using this program, we have find the frequent item sets, and using this frequent item sets we are going to find the a priori rules. So for that we have 3 programs. So this is the program to find the association rule. So we have a data. So this is a separate program. So for this program we have a data separately. So the name of the database is the my data, where we will be having the transactions and the items. So that is stored in a database sorry called my data. So using this my data, so this is the command, this is the code to load a data to a MATLAB workspace, right? So say here minimum support threshold, so we have minimum threshold. So for calculating association rule, we have to give the support value and the confidence value. So minimum support value and minimum confidence value, right? So in this we have the two programs. So this is the main a priori algorithm. So this a priori algorithm is being implemented in this program. So this is the a priori algorithm, it is being implemented, right? So it has three arguments. So the minimum support, minimum confidence, and the transactions. So these are the three inputs to this algorithm. So it is using a loop to find the level. So we have to find with all levels, so until it satisfies condition. So this is the program. So extracting rules, so we have extracting rules, and the rules are being extracted in this program, and it is displayed in this program. So this program is available on the internet, and we are getting the courtesy from yarpist.com, and so this is implemented and the rules are displayed here. So let me now execute the program. So here you have to execute the main function, main program. So likewise in the frequent item set program, we have to execute this frequent item set, provided these three frequent item, freq 1, freq 2, and freq k are in the same, and the frequent item, these four programs, four MATLAB modules has to be in the same directory. So likewise for a priori algorithm, we have to keep main.m, a priori.m, and display rules.m in the same directory, and from which you have to execute the program, right? So suppose to find the rules, I am going to run the main program. So just click. So it has been executed, I think so. Yeah, it has been executed. So I'll close this workspace. So this is the rules. So it has been creating the rules. So rule number 1. So it has created some 8 rules for this database provided in the MATLAB program. So you my data. So my data is the input to the program, right? So this is the output. So it has created 8 rules. So rule 1, 5. If an item 5 is purchased, definitely item 1 will be purchased. So the value for support, confidence, and lift is this. So rule number 2 is if an item 4 is purchased, definitely an item 2 will be purchased. So if the item 5 is purchased, 2 will also be purchased. So if the item 5 will be purchased, 1 and 2 will also be purchased. So this is rule number 4. So these are the possible rules framed from the, right? So if the item 1 is purchased, then 3 will also be purchased. So we have to place item 1 near to item 3. So we have to place item 3 near item 1. So this is there 1 or 3 and 3 of 1. So likewise, if a customer buys 1 and 5, he will definitely buy 2 also. So if a customer buys 2 and 5, he will definitely purchase 1 also. So this is the rule. So these are the rules generated, right? So this is the data. So this is the data. See, this is the data. So data where the items, transactions and items are displayed. So in the 8th transaction, only 4 items are purchased. So in the second transaction, only 2 items, 2 and 4. So not in all the transaction, not all items have been purchased. So because of this, we are going for the data analysis, where we should find an association rule where in which item has to be placed near which item, so that the sales will be improved. So this is the program to find the association rules, right? So today we have discussed two programs. So one program is to find the frequent item sets, and the other program is to find the association rules, right? So for the frequent item set, we have this A matrix as an input, and to find the a priori algorithm, we have then a database by called my data, which is stored in the array. So that has to be built. So to run the program, this database my data should also be there in the same directory, so that it gets loaded to the working space. So this is the program, and it's available in the internet, and this command lines can be removed. So this is just left to you to understand. And so these are the two programs discussed. So try to execute these three programs. So these programs I will be sending you through the social media, and you can try to execute. And if there are any errors, if you have encountered, please please we'll discuss in the next class, right? Thank you.